Hungry Hungry Hippo was a fun game, but it's definitely not fun when you're actually face to face with a hippo. That might be what's happening here, but let's see if the IMDb plot can fill us in on more. After becoming lost in the Louisiana swamplands, a group of holidaymakers must fight for their lives against a rampaging hippo on the loose. Holidaymakers, yeah, okay, I guess they're holidaymakers. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Anyway, so yeah, as opposed to maybe a shark movie or a gator movie or different kind of animal, we have a hippo this time. And I'm not gonna say that I remember seeing any other, I guess, killer hippo movie. So I'm not gonna say that there might not be another one out there, but I think this might be the first one for me. So definitely uh, interesting to kind of see a different animal used, and I'm always wondering, what the next animal they're going to put in a horror movie, and so forth. So definitely welcome something different, especially after watching CGI after CGI after CGI shark, now AI shark, and God knows what else shark, however else way besides doing a practical shark we're gonna get. But you can go to my other reviews and see me complain about that. We're not gonna do that right now. We do have a hippo to talk about. And so, what is going on here? We'll try to kind of keep this spoiler free. I don't know that there's a huge amount to spoil. There's hippo, there's people are going to die and try to escape the hippo and so forth. Kind of standard in that respect. I guess, there is a reason why there's a hippo because there really shouldn't be a hippo here. And there's a little bit of story there, so I'll kind of leave that out. So if you want to know why there's a hippo and what it's doing here, well, I'll leave that out so you guys can catch that as you watch the film. Otherwise, we have a story here where there's two young girls, young women, and they're here, they're in town. One of them gets, as they're kind of starting to get their party on, a little bit of bad news, so that means they're going to party even harder. At some point in the night, one of the girls kind of signs up for a gator tour in the morning. Hungover and full of, maybe not so much life the next morning, they end up going on a tour in the swamplands for what they're supposed to see is a gator. So obviously we meet the captain. We're going to meet a couple of the other people that are going to get on this small boat and go on this venture. Again, not something I'm going to do. Like, I don't prefer to get in the ocean with the sharks. Prefer not to get on boats that, a gator might be as big or bigger than. It's kind of questionable, how exactly big this boat was, but it was I guess it's small enough. Well, regardless, I don't really want to be anywhere where there's gators, even though I have been before. Not good decisions. But yeah, so they're going to get on this boat and go see a gator. Just again, not a great idea. Anyway, being a horror movie, yeah, especially not a great idea. Off they go. They're in the swamplands. A chance for us to further get to know the characters. A chance for the other characters to meet the other characters and so forth. Build a little bit of relationship there as they head out. And they're following a gator called Big Ben. And the captain of this small boat apparently has a tracker on him because I guess that's kind of what they do on this tour. He is the gator to, I guess, go see in this area. So they go off. They try to find him. They get to the spot where he should be around. Start throwing stuff in the water. Little tension there. Is he going to pop up? What's going to happen? Is there something else in the water? Nothing kind of seems to be going on. So they kind of move a little bit further. And eventually they find Big Ben, and he's not looking so great. And there doesn't seem to be too much other activity going on out there. Maybe something is off or whatever. And just as, maybe they're kind of figuring out that maybe they should just, call it a day, something hits the boat. The boat kind of flips over. Everybody's in the water. Chaos ensues. The group kind of gets split up. Maybe a person or two gets injured. and not really sure. They're not really sure. What has hit the boat and caused it to go over. Um, Eventually, they're kind of bumped off again. For those that are like kind of hanging on to the top of the boat. So now most of the people are just kind of there, on what's left over of the boat, or in the swampland and the trees and so forth. Um, Obviously, from there, again, more panic. How are they, what is attacking them? How are the hell they going to get saved now and so forth? They're going to have a couple of ideas. Are they going to work? Are they not going to work? I don't know. And again, eventually they're going to figure out that it is a hippo, and that is what is attacking them. And now it is, what can they do to kind of survive until rescue can come? And that's kind of the gist of what's going on here. Obviously, some people are not going to make it, some people are going to die, the hippo's going to get some people or whatever. And again, you will find out, why there is a hippo here in this situation. And again, I'm not going to tell you that, so you can watch that as it comes. So with that, I guess, the discussion really is the hippo. That is the big difference here. I think we've kind of seen this kind of setup before, especially with gator movies. We've seen all kinds of gator movies and so forth. But we have a hippo here instead. And, again, after coming from, watching so many terrible shark movies, I had to go to the Google machine and be like, okay, what am I going to see here in this movie? Is it going to be a CGI hippo? Is it going to be an AI hippo? Which I completely expected. I'm like, okay, now that we have AI, now we have hippos. I mean, that's kind of what I expected. Or are they actually going to do something kind of practical? And as far as what what it kind of told me was that, yeah, there's some computer, things here and there done. But in the scenes where I guess the hippo is attacking and some of the stuff up close, they actually did manage to do a kind of practical hippo head, which, can be appreciated. So I will appreciate the fact that they at least tried to do something practical in this movie, which most other shark movies now refuse to do, and we're just stuck in CGI hell, and soon going to go down into the deep waters of AI shark hell now to join that. So anyway, yeah, I keep bringing that up. It's annoying. Anyway, so I would say, again, not seeing a ton of horror movies with hippos. I really wasn't sure what to expect. Expect this, as far as how they were going to be done and how they were going to look. Thought it looked pretty decent to me. Obviously, early on, they don't show you a whole lot. The further the movie goes on, they show you more. I guess there will be an eventual point where you kind of see the hippo out of the water, and maybe that kind of didn't look, obviously wasn't going to be practical, and maybe didn't look the most real. But as far as it in action, I don't think there were too many spots where I majorly complained. Again, with the sharks, I learn a lot about sharks, see a lot of shark movies, watch a lot of Shark Week, so kind of expect certain things, want certain things out of the sharks and whatever, and know what they're doing, what they're not doing, and so forth. Even not a shark expert, but whatever. Certainly not a hippo expert, so obviously kind of figure they are a little bit territorial, and that's kind of what is happening here. As far as them being super aggressive here, like this one is, and maybe certain things that it's doing and not doing, is that totally correct or not? I really have no idea, no way to judge. So I really can't complain in that regard. I guess one of the things that they kind of do when somebody dies here is you don't necessarily get to see maybe somebody torn apart, which again we don't really get to see with the sharks either, and it is another annoying thing. Here it's kind of like the person almost kind of gets dragged down, and you kind of see that just blood brush to the surface kind of thing. So they do that sometimes with the shark movies. They do in other ones, we get to see them thrash around and whatever. Sorry for all the comparison to shark movies, but it is what it is. Especially after I just saw two of them, two new shark movies, and maybe fortunate or unfortunate. You can again catch that on other reviews. Um, but it seemed to be that was kind of the way to go here, is to kind of give that rushing blood effect, as opposed to kind of really showing the hippo really dig its teeth in, or really get somebody. So I guess that is a little bit disappointing. Not totally unexpected, but a little disappointing. As far as where the story went, again, not trying to give too much away. I think for those that are managed to survive towards the back half, when the survivors eventually reached a certain point, you would have thought that they would have been okay, and would be able to manage in that situation that they find themselves eventually in. But obviously that also just becomes a little bit of a disaster as well. But I was just kind of like, shouldn't they be okay by now? Like, or just wait till help comes? But obviously, they have to just continue to find themselves at the mercy of the hippo here. So yeah, there's maybe slight, like I said, you find out a little bit about the hippo and so forth, and why it's there at the end part. Won't give that away for you guys. I guess the big takeaway here is that yes, it was good that it was practical, and yes, it was good to see a different animal that's being used here. Um, Anything super greatly new here besides that? Probably not. The acting is okay, probably better from some people than others. Didn't think it ruined the movie in any real way. It was good enough. I don't know that any of the characters were, uh, you know, terribly, super, I guess, interesting or whatever, but which is fine, because some of them are gonna die anyway, so who really cares? Um, but yeah, it is what it is, and it wasn't that long either. So I think, they kind of moved it along as quickly as they could. Again, you're not gonna see the hippo too much early, and then they're slowly gonna reveal it, and as it goes. Um, they have some dramatics. There is a little bit of dramatics. There is a family unit on this boat, and I guess some of the dramatics kind of happen. That obviously you have the main girl, and there's something going on with her as well, and she's there with her friends. So they try to pull the strings a little bit, with when certain people die or get injured or whatever here and there. Um, but again, overall, I don't tend to get too wrapped up in that. I realize it's a horror movie, especially when it's like an animal movie. Somebody has to die. Somebody's going to die. Same as like a slasher. You don't get too wrapped up in it, no matter how um, heartfelt they try to make it. How two people really love each other or whatever, or family members, whatever. Somebody has to die. Somebody's going to die. It's a slasher movie. It's a hippo movie. It's a shark movie. Whatever. Whatever. It's going to happen. So they're gonna try to get you to feel sad, but it is what it is. So there's definitely a certain moment of that, particularly with the family that's aboard on this small boat. Again, a mistake. Don't get on a small boat. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna give it 2 pools of blood at the end of the day. 2 pools of blood out of 5. Uh, you know, Again, appreciate that they tried to use some practical stuff here, and didn't just give us crazy bad CGI or crazy bad AI and stuff to majorly complain about. So appreciate the effort in that respect. But I didn't think it did anything overwhelmingly awesome or new or whatever, besides being a hippo. Um, Would I want another hippo movie? Yeah, why not? Hippos, from what I gather from them, they're pretty dangerous animals and so forth, and big and so forth. So why not? Go for it. Better than and do it again in as much of a practical way as possible, not CGI or AI. Like, stop, just stop. Anyway, so we'll end it at that, and again, 2 pools of blood out of 5 for this one. So with that, horrorscorereviews.blogspot.com, so you can find all my reviews written in video. Certainly tons of video reviews for a while now, so you can like and subscribe and do everything else that everybody does here on YouTube. If not, no worries, it's okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Blue Sky, Facebook information down below. Feel free to reach out, talk about this movie, talk about hippos, throw some hippo knowledge out there, that's fine. And definitely in the comment section as well, if you eventually see this movie, your thoughts are always welcome. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.